white guy pretty like a girl, and he got vice towards the girl. See both sides like a girl, see on both sides like a girl. Relax, ooh, boy, eat it like I'm under.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Theana here. I swear, I always change my intro. I just don't know what to say in my intro, but I'll figure it out soon. But Aries the Ram, welcome back. I actually wanted to come in here and talk about a very sensitive topic because I feel like it's really important to me because I went through this. Even though I didn't go to a doctor to diagnose me, I know what I was feeling, and I just want to like talk about it because not only will it make me feel better, I feel like it can be reached out to the right people. My topic is how I squashed my depression growing up. Like I said, I never went to the doctor. I never actually went to a doctor and let them diagnose me that I had this, but intuitively I know that I had this, or like whatever. Like, all right, all I'm saying is like I had this really deep sadness inside of me, and usually when you have like this really deep sadness, you will call it depression. The point of me making this video is to say that I just wanted to give some ideas, some pointers of how I got out of my deep sadness and just shed some light on it and to just help someone. So I came up with 10 conclusions that I used to help myself get out of it. I'm sure that I use other ways, but this is what just came up in my head while I was writing down my notes. So yeah, my first idea, or like my first conclusion that I used to get out of my depression is I started healing by isolation, which is kind of ironic because when you're depressed you're always by yourself. But what I mean by this is like I basically just took myself away from negative people, because when you're already sad and you're around negative people that just make you feel worse, it doesn't make your depression any better. If anything, it makes it a lot worse, and it just keeps putting you in this really deep dark hole that is just not a nice place to be. So that's what I mean by isolation. I just started telling myself, you know what, I'm just gonna stay away from the people that make me feel really bad about myself. Then I put slash I analyzed why I didn't feel motivated. So when I was around happier people, I used to wonder why were they happy and why I wasn't. When I used to go home, I used to like think about all the things that made me sad, and honestly I used to think about things that make me so sad to the point that I would just end up crying on purpose. I don't know why I did that. I guess it was just a way of me babying myself to like protect myself, keep myself in like this protective bubble of like, all right, if I do this and I just cry, I'll just feel better. And I don't know, like crying became a drug kind of for me, because that was just my way of like feeling protected. But while I was doing this, I also asked myself why I was sad a lot, and I used to write down the reasons why I was sad. Like I had like a little diary and I used to write down how I felt, why I felt like that, and then after, while I was crying, I would like write positive words after that and make myself feel better. So basically I journaled and I wrote down my feelings. So that was one way of me starting to get out of the hole, by journaling and internalizing my emotions and recognizing that there's something wrong and trying to heal that by saying positive words to myself. The second one is I started watching videos that made me feel happy. Around this time, I discovered YouTube. Actually, I knew about YouTube way before, but this was the time when YouTube was still brown and red and green, I think. If you know, you know. And when I started watching these videos of like people just talking about the things that they went through and how they healed, it inspired me. And just regular videos of just people just making videos like nowadays of just their life, and it motivated me and it kept me happy, and it made me feel like, okay, if somebody can go through this and get out of it and they're in this better position now in their life, I can do the same thing. So it inspired me to get out of the hole even more. It's an escape for me to not pay attention to my own emotions, my own needs, wants for a couple of hours. But I just want to let you guys know that whatever you're going through, you will get over it, because I got over it. I'm not depressed anymore, or like I'm not in this deep sadness anymore, and I know exactly what it feels like. So that's why I can like talk about this, because I know exactly what it feels like. So watch these videos. They just made me feel really empowered, and they made me feel a lot better about life. And I guess making this video right now is just me releasing the first time like actually talking about this, so it's touching. So I'm sorry that I'm crying, and they just really made me laugh and just made me realize that, hello, there's still the sun is still there. The sun will never ever not shine. Even on a rainy, cloudy day, you will always see the sun come out with a rainbow. So I just want to let someone know that, like, it's not easy being in that hole. I know exactly what it feels like. It feels like you're going to die. It literally feels like, it just feels like you're not gonna make it, but I'm telling you that you're gonna make it, because I am making it out. I have went through a lot of stress and pain to even be sitting here and making these videos, so I know exactly what you feel like. I started watching videos and movies that I could relate to and what made me feel empowered. So even with movies too, like what's that movie called with Will Smith in it? The movie The Pursuit of Happiness. That was one of those movies that helped me to keep pushing. This man went through a lot to even sell those machines and to get a job. It's one of these movies that helped me to keep going. Like how people watch movies for entertainment. At that time, I didn't even watch that much movies while I was even going through my depression, to be honest. But that was one of the movies that helped me to get out, and it made me feel like my situation was gonna get better. Nothing lasts forever. I used to read a lot of quotes on Instagram of about like bettering yourself and how nothing that you go through is gonna last forever. I just used to watch a lot of motivational videos and just read a lot of motivation quotes, like anything that could motivate my spirit to just smile again. I read them, I watched them, and I kept looking for the light. You have to keep following that white light, because if you don't, you're gonna just stay in that hole and nobody's gonna get you out. Because with this society that we're living in now, people don't care if you're sad. If anything, people like it when you're sad. People like it when you're down. They like when you're miserable because it makes them feel better. Because if you really think about it, majority of the world is miserable, and misery likes company. So you have to fight. You cannot stay with the collective of just wanting to stay in one place in life and not wanting to move on. You have to follow the light. I'm still following the light. I'm not where I still want to be right now in life, but I can see myself out. Like, I am out the tunnel now. I'm out the hole now, so I am in a better place mentally. Fourth one is that I started talking to myself, aka God. So, you know, I am not Christian, I'm not religious. What you want to call it, spiritual, but I wasn't even aware of spirituality while I was going through my depression. I didn't even know what that was. And it's like I was listening to my instincts of how I could get out of this hole, because all I had, guys, was just myself. I didn't have nobody to cry on. I didn't have nobody to tell me, oh, everything is gonna get better. I didn't have any of that. So my instincts was telling me to just talk to myself, talk to God, which is inside of me. I believe that God is within you. It says it in the Bible, so I don't know why people think that it's outside of them. I feel like God is in your pineal gland. So yeah. I just kept asking myself a lot of questions, like, why was I so sad? How can I get out of this sadness? Who am I? What am I supposed to do in this life? What is my purpose? I asked all those questions and more, and I eventually got the answers. You know that voice that you hear constantly when you read, when you think about something, when you say something in your head, that voice, I kept listening to that voice, because I feel like that voice that you hear constantly in your head is your true self. It's 1:11. So I decided to just keep asking myself questions and keep staying obedient by listening to myself, staying away from my phone for a while. Think about all the great things that you want to be, and remind yourself that you're a bad bitch. And it worked. It was just times when I just felt like giving up, but I didn't. And I'm just telling you not to give up, because this is just a season that God put you in so you can heal, just get rid of all your trauma and just move on. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you, it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you're doing it and as long as you're not giving up. No matter how many times you get knocked down, as long as you keep getting up, that's the main important go. You have to remember that you're the main character in your life. Nobody else but you. You're the main character. There's no but. You're the main character in your life. The fifth one is I told myself positive things in the mirror or just to myself. I would go in the bathroom or I would just stay in my room and I would talk to myself. Not in no crazy way or just in a loving way, actually. I realized that me talking to myself and wanting to heal from all my trauma and just free myself from these bondages that people try to put on me, I realized that that is self-love. Because if I didn't love myself, I would have stayed and just probably end up being a really bad person. But I didn't. I kept going. I kept telling myself, no, I'm gonna keep my heart open. I'd rather be an angel than to be a devil in this world. I just felt like keeping my heart open and pure and light was the right thing to do, and that's what I did. So I kept looking in the mirror and kept telling myself great things, like, you're going to make it out, T. I even used to write it down. I used to draw a lot, by the way, too. So when you're depressed, I just feel like the best way to really start feeling like you know you can get out of the hole is by doing things that you really like doing, things that really make you happier. So I used to draw, I used to color, I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos, just anything that uplifted my spirit, I did it. When you write things down, it's a manifestation. It's like a spell, because this world is more spiritual than physical. So when I wrote it down, it's like it was vibrating at a certain vibration, so the universe could see that, and like it's like the universe helped me, like gave me more energy to keep going and just keep staying strong. And then I told myself. The sixth one is I cried when I knew I needed to. There was this thing while I was a lot younger, social media was different, and I used to see all these posts about people just saying like, oh, I'd rather bottle up my emotions and not pay attention to them, and then just have a mental breakdown a few months later. And I felt like, I thought that was a good thing. I thought holding in your emotions was a good thing. I thought not paying attention to how you feel about a particular situation at the time was healthy. I thought holding and bottling your emotions was a good thing. Like, what? No. I used to have a lot of mental breakdowns, so bad that I would have a tantrum, low-key. I would throw things around and just literally bawl my eyes out, like, not just hoo-hoo crying, no, bawling. Like, it was really bad. I would cry in the shower, like, it was bad. And I realized bottling up your emotions is not good for you, especially for your mental health. It's so bad for you. You function less. It's like you see darkness more in the world than good because of how you feel. And your emotions have a lot to do with your mental health. So I felt like doing that was just wrong, and I started crying when I felt like crying. And I realized, wait, okay, if I do this, I won't have any more mental breakdowns. And I stopped having mental breakdowns. Instead, I was analyzing my emotions more. I was analyzing why I was feeling this way at this certain time, who I was around that made me feel like this. I just paid attention to everything and just started healing myself and started staying away from certain things that just wasn't making me any better. If you are really sad, stay away from social media, please. It's not gonna make you feel any better. Most of the time, it really didn't make me feel any better. It was just a way of me escaping from my own emotions, why I even end up being on social media. And there was just certain posts that I used to see, and it just wasn't healthy for me. And that's when I started just changing up what I see on social media. And if you didn't know, you can definitely control your social media. You don't have to have it control you. If you see something on social media, you can definitely go in your settings and change it. Like, you don't have to see certain things. And I just started gaining back my power. I just started realizing, this is my life, this is my story, and this is how I want it to play. The 7th one is I stopped doubting myself and stopped listening to people that were negative. Like I said, I was just around a lot of people that didn't have my best interest at all. These people used to bully me, used to just take advantage and just wanted to take from me. And like, ever since I realized that, I just started to say, you know what, you don't love me, you don't care about me, you never give me anything. In fact, we barely have conversations, and if we do, it's never good conversations. You're always telling me something negative. And I just said, you know what? Fuck you. I don't need you. I really just started saying that to people. If I didn't say it to them, I would just say it in my head and just stop hanging around with them. All the negativity and just all the doubting words that people put on me, I just started unlearning that and just said, you know what? I am not who people think I am. I am not who people say I am. And they have no control of who I am. They're not God. So I'm gonna stop listening to them, and I'm going to start telling myself all the great things that I know I am and what I want to be, and just only listen to myself. And that is what I'm doing right now up until this day. I am done listening to people. I'm done letting people tell me what to do, how to live my life, and I'm done like having people get into my subconscious mind. I'm done with that shit. I started just listening to motivational videos that made me feel a lot better, that really resonated with me and just taught me new things and just a more positive way of thinking. And this helped me tremendously, especially when I wanted a lot of things in my life, like just material things. I listened to motivational videos and they helped me. This was when I was starting to learn about the law of attraction, the universe, and it's like when I learned about these things, it gave me something to strive off of, like something new to really focus on, something that could make me get out of this hole even more and more and more and more. I realized that this tiny little light that I saw in the tunnel was getting brighter and brighter and bigger and bigger. Out of my isolation and started going out more, doing things for myself, and It's like while all of this was going, I was healing all the way from my soul to my spirit to my body to my mind, everything. And that is the power of telling yourself great things and believing in yourself. And out of depression, you start to think differently because your brain is just getting rewired. I don't know what the science is. I just know that when you're sad and then when you start paying attention to the light, a lot of beautiful things happen. And I just want to let you know that this feeling that you're feeling, this hole that you feel like you're in, this feeling of just feeling that you're trapped, it's gonna be over soon. All of this usually happens to the people that is supposed to be huge in life, that's supposed to be big. And I just want to let you know, I see your light, and you cannot let nobody dim your light. Nobody whatsoever. The 8th one is, I did a lot of research of mental, physical, psychological abuse and learned how living with hurt people can affect you. It started on social media, actually. So this is what I'm saying, like, social media is good and bad. You just have to be in control of it, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't even see certain things on my social media. So I started seeing posts about how people psychologically can mess with you, like narcissistic people, helicopter parents, abusive parents, just all the different traits a human being can have when they're messed up as well. What kind of trauma that can be put onto the child, and just anyone in general. And I started learning about all these things, and I was like, oh my gosh, this literally sounds like my parent. Oh my gosh, this sounds like this person that I used to deal with. Like, I had so many, like, it wasn't were they epiphanies? I'm not sure, but all I know is that it just kept having sparks in my brain, like, oh, this makes sense, this is why this person does this. Like, I just had so much, like, wow, you know. I started learning, like, how your body can react physically to traumas, and how you can treat yourself by, like, not taking care of yourself because you feel unworthy because of what happened to you. I started researching about mental health, of how emotions can affect it, just how your brain can be rewired so easily based on the situations that you go through in life, and heal them. I learned about abuse a lot, how people can just portray their own agendas, and how they can portray their own mistakes and worries on you because of how they feel, and because they haven't healed from that, they want to make you feel the same. And just learning all of this, like, basically just doing my research and just collecting information, made me understand my situation more, made me understand my depression more, and made me realize, wait, I am sad because this person said this to me because they're like this. That has nothing to do with me. And when I just kept having these ideas and just epiphanies, I said, you know what? God put me here for a bigger purpose. And I am not letting another person tell me that I am not great. Because if God told me that I'm great, then I'm great. When you're getting out of depression, it's a mental fight. It's a spiritual fight. It's not an easy fight. It's something that you literally have to keep telling yourself every single day, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. It's not easy. And I'm just so proud of myself to even be speaking about this now, because when I was down, bruh, I really felt like nothing was gonna change. So I know exactly how you feel. Just please take my advice, because I had to do all of this on my own. I have nobody to cry at, and most likely you don't have anybody to cry at. The 9th one is I found out what was making me depressed and moved away from it. So this can be people, situations, places. It can be a relationship. It can be a loss of a loved one. It can be anything. And the thing that I can say from this is to heal, to just listen to your intuition and talk to the God that you serve, and just take your time, because healing is not a fast-paced thing. It's not something that just happens overnight. It's something that you literally have to dedicate yourself to. It's discipline, it's self-love, it's courage, and it may be hard, but it's not impossible. And yeah, and then the 10th one is I started discovering who I am by simple meditation practices. So when I said earlier I was asking myself, who am I really wanted to know that, because the worst feeling in life is to not know who you are. It's not fun at all. It's like you're just in this body and you're just like, you just see this world and you see other people. Some people are being themselves while others are wearing a mask. I didn't want to wear a mask. I didn't want to pretend to be something that I wasn't. So I was determined to find out who I am. And I feel like that is just one of the best, most important it's one of the best and the most important ways to get out of depression, because most of the time when we are in depression, we forgot who we are. We let another energy tell us who we are. We let a situation forget who we are. And I just want to let you know that you have to remember who you are. You cannot stay in that hole. You can't just operate in this life by yourself without knowing who you are. So that was like my little ideas, ways. This is how I squashed my depression. This is how I told depression, fuck you. Like, I just fought. This is my story. I know that this video will help someone or some people, and yeah, this is how I got out of it. And yeah, so by the way, just know that you are beautiful, handsome, you are smart, you are a person filled with courage, and just keep fighting. And don't let anyone tell you who you are. Start remembering who you are, because I'm telling you, once you find out who you are, the light will just be there from now on. Once you find out who you are, you're gonna see the sun, and you're gonna keep going. You're not going to turn back. So yeah, bye.